Hey guys, it's Chuck Gray with Foraging Truth. And you know what September 1st is? Ginseng season. So, what do you need to be doing now? You need to be scouting for ginseng. And that's exactly what we're doing. I've found it on that hillside. I've never really checked the run down through here. And I never had to. But we're going to go ahead and scout it out a little bit and see what we can find in this local area. And then we're going to get down and we're going to show you some plants that you can definitely find ginseng in around. They like the same soils. They call them sister plants. But before we do all that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and always keep foraging. It's exactly what we're doing now, so let's go do it. You definitely don't want to be out in the open. I can see all those plants over here, and I can see that they're not ginseng plants because I look for the leaf, not the berry. The berries could be green this time of year in Pennsylvania, in the highlands, and that's where we're at. I'm going to be down into the thick stuff where people miss them and they don't find them. Underneath the back edges of logs, in by trees, underneath deadfalls, and grapevines. And why grapevines? Because grouse and turkeys and all those roost in grapevines, and they eat the berries when they turn red. So you usually find ginseng underneath those things. Not a ginseng. Swampy, so swampy ginseng never really happens. And there's ginseng up there. Theoretically, it should be down here. Or maybe because of the stream, seeds go down, they rotten. You know? I look at all the leaves in around those ferns because those ferns cover them up too. It's crazy. It should be here too. Unless the deer eat it to the point where it kills it on this side.
That's possible.
But either way, there's a goat trail up that. See that? You see that path up that way? That's the way we're going to go. Not as pronounced of a trail as I'd like. So, I'm just going to switch back. Watch right there. Here's a better trail. Good?
Yep.
Wow. We are in ginseng land now. It's funny, like you said, I bet it's because of this edge, you know? Another thing, guys, is I'm walking faster. If you have not found ginseng, or if you find them here and there and you haven't really found that much, you're going to want to get a stick, move plants around, push things out of your way, like this. I automatically look underneath this while I'm walking. You're going to want to move it and see what's underneath it. Each one of these plants could be ginseng. And if you're not trained to look at the leaf and you're looking for red, you're going to walk by 10 or 15 ginseng plants. Nope. Okay. If that was going to be a ginseng, that would have been a massive one. See that plant?
Yeah.
It's not a ginseng. You'll run into plenty of not a ginseng. Same thing as usual. I'm not seeing much of anything down here. It seems to be up on the top edge. Let's go see if it's still up there. Go ahead and step straight down on it. There you go. That's how you navigate plants. Not a ginseng. That's like the dear goodness when everybody's waiting for a deer. Not ginseng. Okay, this is where it's a little harder to see, so we're going to travel a little bit slower. Vegetation's up, and it likes to grow so high and then lay down, so it looks like a lower plant. The other thing is, a lot of people don't look at the higher plants. I found ginsengs pretty high, and you always see the smaller ones first because you're looking down. But if this was a ginseng, it was this high, you might brush it aside and see a smaller one, and then they forget this one. Meniere's is kicking in.
It'd be kind of funny if you missed a plant and they saw it in the video and they're like, "You missed one!"
Go point down at that, my arm and then point at that plant.
Not a ginseng.
Not a ginseng. There used to be some right here. I don't know if anybody ever dug it. Back in the day, there was some right near this log right here. But you have those guys that come through and they dig everything, and then it's gone from that area. So we're just hip hopping around right here. Turkey tail. Turkey tail has the purples on it. That's pretty well fresh though. Just from the dryness in the area, it's got that real felty. This is what you want to make tea out of. It's a great immunomodulator. I think I'm going to go ahead and harvest some while I'm here. I don't have any more turkey tail. It's crazy. The most prominent mushroom in the woods, in the Appalachians especially, and I ran out. So we'll leave a couple spore droppers behind. It's already through that log, so we don't have to worry about any of that. And I'm going to pocket this. Okay. Another good reason to be out in the creation, guys. You don't always find what you're looking for, but you find something. So you want to get up underneath. See this bush right here? This is a sister plant. This is a spice bush. This gets those red Tic Tac looking berries on it. Right now they're green. Here's some. It's really prickly. And they call it a spice bush because... Oh, smell that stuff.
Very aromatic.
Yeah, it is. Ginseng loves the same soil as this plant right here. So I know I'm in the right area. I know I'm in the right type of soil. This plant, you have the right type of ferns. You have the right type of everything. Oh, Seth, pan over there. What do you guys see? I believe that is a ginseng. So what I commonly do, guys, is I'll mark this, but this is well marked. It's right in amongst this deadfall material. Oh yeah, there's a little baby right here. And then there's one right here. Look at that. Okay, so yeah, we're established. This one's established in this area, and this would be a legal plant. You have one set of leaves, two set of leaves, three set of leaves. I'm not digging this one. I can tell you why. Look how thin that stem is. Now, for all you guys that want to jump on and be like, you guys are hunting ginseng out of season. I see red berries. I see this. I see these things growing. I don't see leaves falling yet. It is August 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. You digging plants right now? You are a criminal. It's been put on my other ginseng videos. Listen, guys, I pay attention to the rules, so you don't have to worry about me. We get higher up this mountain, and a lot of those bigger plants will have red berries on them still. Here in PA, September 1st is when you can start digging. This plant is just a nice sign. I usually mark this plant, but I can walk away from this and know right where this plant is. Here's what you start doing. Yeah, there's plants there. There might be a couple other small ones. I missed these when I first looked at them because they were down amongst this. There's some tiny ones in around it, but where'd this one come from? Was a bird perched here that ate some berries? Or did the berries come up from up here? Berries come off the plant and sometimes they roll. This would be a rolling plant, I believe, or a perched plant. But I'll start looking out around the ginseng plant. And I'll circle around. I don't have it marked. And I'm going to keep looking at every little plant in the area to see where the mother plant came from. When you find the mother plants, higher is usually bigger. Those berries came from somewhere. So, work my way in a circle around this area, looking up underneath by the logs and looking for that ginseng leaf, that five-pointed leaf. They all come from one spot on the stem. It looks like a star. Once you learn that leaf pattern, you'll see the ginseng that nobody else saw because they're looking for red berries. Or the shape of the plant. The shape of the plant and the shape of the leaves are what you want your eye to be trained for. Let's go uphill. I don't see anything out around this one. Here we go. I'm going to scoot around. You stay on this trajectory right here. Out towards that tip is where we're going.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot around until I find some, all right? You keep looking too. Fanning out. This will cause the finding faster. Here's one. It's a small one though. All right, this is for all my berry hunters, okay? I'm going to come down here. I'm going to show you this shape of the leaf. 1, 2, 3, and 2 small trailer leaves. If you're not looking for this and you're looking for the berries, guys, you're going to miss plants. If you learn to look for the shape of the leaf, look at that. Look how those are. See the little sharp tip at the very end? It's a little bit longer. It gets fat, kind of like a teardrop, and comes in. Small sawtooth pattern. If you look for that, you're going to find plants that have already dropped their berries. If you're a berry hunter in Pennsylvania, you're missing most of your ginseng. I'll tell you that right now. So, it's for my berry hunters. This plant is a 3-prong. This is a legal plant in Pennsylvania. That plant is tiny. So, let's keep looking. That's not the plants we're looking for. I'm going to backtrack a little bit up on top here. Since we're in the Appalachians and all that 411 stuff, if you lose sight of me, yell, and if I yell back, we're good. That's for Dave Pilates. It's always when you split up. Someone goes missing instantly. small plants, they need to grow for another 5-6 years. And that just tells me that I don't want to be here, you know, on the first day.
Because they're not big enough.
They're not big enough.
And not enough of them.
Not enough of them. I want to be going ginseng plant, ginseng plant, ginseng plant. I don't want to be going. Found one over there, 100 yards away, 3-pronger, legal but tiny. And the soil quality up here is really good, so the plant you're looking for is going to be big, you know.
Or taken.
Or taken. Someone might have cleaned this spot out and forgot those two because they were looking for berries. I've always had better luck for bigger plants over here anyway. And about 4 or 5 years ago, when we were doing videos up here, there was, you know, a bunch of those 3-prongers like we just found. That was 4 or 5 years ago, unless somebody else harvested.
Puffball. Yeah?
Pigskin puffball.
Yep.
Already have irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome.
That's what it sounds like.
Bubba.
Should have brought the second mic so I could banter with you more.
Woo! That's the Meniere's syndrome. Don't you hate when one of your ears gets longer or heavier than the other? Whew. For anybody that doesn't know, Chuck Grove from Foraging Truth has Meniere's syndrome. Yeah, the VA's actually, their CMP doctor is the one that figured it out for me. And I took that back to my regular doctor, and I wondered why I was losing my balance so much. And I have Meniere's syndrome. So if you guys see me just tip over all of a sudden, I'm good. All right, here's where we pan out. We left a stack of plants here. If nobody else was up here, I see a tint of red over there. Do you see that? Sometimes it happens, guys. Sometimes you see berries from a distance. I'm not sure. I just got a glint of red, but I just check over to it. I believe it was right in this area too, that we found like 5 or 6 plants all stacked together and only one was big enough. Like I said, 4 or 5 years ago. Unless the ginseng thieves came flying through. Can't call them thieves. I just wish they would harvest more ethically. Yeah, it was right in this area because we had that drop in right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? We found a stack of plants right in here. So they're here. Unless they were dug. So let's look. Another thing I'm noticing is I'm not seeing any mushrooms except for that pigskin puffball and that little bit of turkey tail, which both grow on dead wood. And I just found another one over here. Oh, I actually found a terrestrial mushroom. It was a rusula. It broke up. I think it's a rusula. Looks like a rusula. Fragments like a rusula. It's discolored because it's dried out. We're having a little bit of a drought, guys.
I wonder how drought affects ginseng berries and growth.
Well, I think because it's such a heavy rhizome, it'll affect the growth of the plant. But the ginseng plants don't come up every year. The root and the rhizome don't have to produce a plant every year to survive. And I'm thinking if it's too dry, they'll just sit in the dirt and conserve.
Until next year.
Yeah.
That could be the problem here too.
Could
Hey,
be.
Look, another rusula. Right there.
Maybe. It's got real thin stem. That looks like an old deer mushroom. Boy, she's a little dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
There's some moisture to it still.
Recording.
Hey guys, I think we just found some ginseng. You can probably see these nice little small ones down here. Here's one. And that is technically a 3-prong. Boy, is that tiny. Here's another small one, but they came from somewhere, so let's keep going up. Oh, here's another one. You guys see that one? That's a decent one. But wait, here's another one here. And here's another one there. And look, here's a berry on the ground. And here's another one right here. There's got to be more if there's that much, right? Oh, no. There's another one right over there. See the red berries sticking up? They're sticking up above the plant. All right, guys. So we took you out with us ginseng hunting. If you look right around me, we decided to end it here. There's a berry I didn't even notice until I saw it from the side. But here's a nice young ginseng plant. Here's another really young ginseng plant. We've been finding a decent amount of ginseng right here. Oh, check this one out. The deer bit that top right off. See the berry?
Oh yeah.
Those 3 leaves are bit off. There's more ginseng right there. There's ginseng all around me right here. So what I'm trying to tell you is this spot would not be a spot I would come to in 3 days. This spot needs to be left alone for 5 to 10 years, depending on the growth size, the size of the growth, how much they grow over season. Seems like pretty good soil here. They should be a lot bigger. When you guys are out looking for ginseng, you want to find ginseng plants like this. Big ginseng plants. This is not a good indication that I will be in this area. I'm going to leave this area go for a while longer. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And I want you to keep coming on to Foraging Truth and finding out how we do certain things up here in the Appalachian Mountains. This is Pennsylvania. It's southern PA. That's pretty much what I'm going to let it go with that. But we get mushroom seasons a little bit later than everybody else down south. We get different things come a little bit later. Yes, we are a little bit later than everybody else when we put out videos. But that's okay, because I started this to help teach about what the creation is. It's a creation. And these things didn't just pop out of the ground one day. And there's another nice one right there. And they were made. This is a creation. And the more you get out in it, the more you realize that this stuff doesn't just happen. So that is the bloodline and the heart of Foraging Truth, because Christ is the truth. So make sure you keep coming along, guys. If you like the videos, it helps us. It puts the video out more for more people to learn about this stuff. That's what we're really trying to do. We want to get as many people to see the videos as we can. And make sure you share it to people so that they can see it too. With that being said, this is Chuck Grove with Foraging Truth. Keep foraging.